really like pisses me off when people are like, she's not the face of the league.
Who would be?
What?
The WNBA just witnessed one of the most explosive player callouts in league history, and it's tearing the organization apart from the inside. Sophie Cunningham, known for protecting Caitlin Clark on the court, just dropped a bomb on Commissioner Kathy Angelbert that has the entire league scrambling. What she said has players picking sides, fans demanding answers, and the commissioner facing a full-blown revolt. This isn't just drama. This is the WNBA's biggest star being disrespected by the very people who should be celebrating her. And when you hear what actually went down behind closed doors, you'll understand why players are ready to burn it all down. The fallout from this situation is so massive that it's threatening to overshadow the greatest season in WNBA history. We're talking about a complete breakdown in trust between players and management. And it all centers around how the league treated the one person who saved them from obscurity. It all started when Napheesa Collier sat down for what should have been a routine exit interview after an incredible season with the Minnesota Lynx. Collier had just finished leading her team deep into the playoffs, putting up career numbers and establishing herself as one of the league's premier players. Instead of the usual thank yous and reflections on the season, Collier came prepared with receipts that would shake the foundation of the league to its core. She claimed that Commissioner Engelberg told her something during a private conversation that would make your blood boil, that Caitlin Clark should be grateful for the WNBA platform. According to Keir's account, Engelbert suggested that without the league, Clark wouldn't be making anything, and that the rookie owed her success to the organization. Let that sink in for a second. The commissioner of a league that was struggling to fill arenas and get consistent TV ratings just told one of the biggest athletes in America that she should be thankful for the opportunity. This is the same Caitlin Clark who had every college in the country fighting over her, who could have gone overseas and made millions playing for Asia, who had endorsement deals with Nike and Gatorade before she even stepped on a WNBA court. The audacity of that statement alone was enough to set the basketball world on fire. Collier didn't hold back either, making it clear during her interview that she was disgusted by the lack of respect shown to someone who literally saved the league from irrelevance. She talked about how players in the locker room were furious when they heard about Angelbert's comments, how they couldn't believe the commissioner would be so tone-deaf about what Clark actually meant to the sport. Sophie Cunningham wasn't about to let that slide, and she made sure the whole world knew exactly how she felt. Within hours of Keir's interview going public and spreading across social media like wildfire, she went straight to Instagram and unleashed hell in the comments section under a post discussing the controversy. Her words were direct and brutal, cutting through all the corporate speak and political correctness that usually dominates these conversations. The most delusional leader our league has seen. But she didn't stop there because Cunningham was just getting warmed up. She added that people only know who Kathy is because of Clark, flipping the script entirely on who should be grateful to whom. The implication was devastating. Without Caitlin Clark bringing unprecedented attention to the WNBA, nobody outside of hardcore basketball fans would even know the commissioner's name or care about her opinions. Angelbert would just be another anonymous sports executive running a league that barely registered in the national consciousness. Then came the knockout punch. A second comment posted in all caps for maximum impact. It shouldn't ever be about our commissioner in the first place. The message was crystal clear and impossible to misinterpret. This isn't about one woman's ego trip or power plays or needing to feel important. This is about recognizing generational greatness when it walks through your door and having the humility to step back and let that greatness shine without trying to take credit for it. And instead of rolling out the red carpet for the player who brought millions of new fans to the sport, secured the biggest media deal in league history, and made women's basketball a mainstream conversation for the first time ever, the league's top executive allegedly decided to remind Clark who's boss. That's not leadership. That's insecurity dressed up in a power suit. Here's where it gets really uncomfortable for the commissioner, because the numbers tell a story that completely destroys Angelbert's alleged comments and exposes just how delusional they really were. Caitlin Clark's rookie season didn't just move the needle. It shattered every metric the WNBA uses to measure success and created new benchmarks that seemed impossible just a year ago. 21 out of 24 games that broke 1 million viewers featured Clark on the court doing her thing. Think about what that means for a second, and let the weight of that statistic sink in. For years, the WNBA couldn't get a single game to crack 1 million viewers, no matter what they tried. Marketing campaigns fell flat. Star players couldn't move the needle. Playoff games struggled to get attention. Now suddenly, with Clark in the league, it's happening almost every time she plays. The Indiana Fever went from averaging a pathetic 67 fans per game to selling out arenas with over 17,000, screaming fans desperate to see the rookie in action. Road games became instant sellouts because opposing teams knew Clark would fill their buildings and generate revenue they'd never seen before. ESPN's WNBA viewership exploded by 170% compared to the previous year, and that's not even counting streaming numbers. Merchandise sales went through the roof, with Clark jerseys outselling every other player combined by a ridiculous margin. Social media engagement hit levels the league had never seen, with highlight videos of Clark racking up millions of views and bringing younger demographics to the sport. Oh, and that $2 billion media rights deal the league just signed with Disney, Amazon, and NBC. Yeah, that happened in Clark's rookie year. Coincidence? Not a chance. Those networks weren't throwing money at the WNBA because of Kathy Angelbert's brilliant leadership. They were investing because Caitlin Clark proved there was a massive audience hungry for women's basketball when marketed correctly. So, when someone suggests Clark should be grateful, the facts scream the opposite so loudly, it's deafening. The league should be on its knees thanking her for single-handedly dragging women's basketball into mainstream relevance and making everyone involved more money than they ever dreamed possible. But Cunningham's Instagram comments were just the appetizer, a preview of the fury that was about to be unleashed. During her own exit interview with the Phoenix Mercury, she went even harder on league leadership. And this time, she had the entire sports media world listening and recording every word. When asked about the WNBA's decision-makers and how they've handled the league's explosive growth throughout the season, Cunningham didn't mince words or try to be diplomatic. They don't know SJT about basketball. That's not frustration bubbling over after a tough loss. That's a declaration of war from someone who's watched the front office fumble every major decision this season, while patting themselves on the back for success they didn't create. She elaborated on how scheduling was an absolute disaster, with teams playing back-to-back games in different cities while flying commercial and getting no rest. How player safety concerns were completely ignored, even as veterans were warning about the physical play getting out of control. How the league failed to capitalize on the momentum Clark created by not promoting other young stars or creating compelling storylines beyond one player. Cunningham talked about how the front office seemed more concerned with controlling narratives and protecting egos than actually growing the game. Other players started chiming in immediately, adding their own criticisms about everything from the playoff format that nobody could understand to how games were promoted with minimal effort to the complete lack of support when players were being physically targeted on the court. Social media lit up with current and former players sharing their own horror stories about league mismanagement. What started as one player defending Clark turned into a full-scale mutiny against the front office that had been building for years. Players are tired of being told what to think, how to act, and who to appreciate, while the people making those demands can't even get the basics, right? They're watching the biggest star their league has ever seen get talked down to by someone who should be writing her thank you notes every single day, and they're not having it anymore. The dam broke and years of pent-up frustration came flooding out all at once. Sophie Cunningham earned her reputation as Clark's enforcer the hard way, and it's a role she embraced with zero apologies or second thoughts. When things got physical during games, and they got physical a lot because veterans were testing the rookie constantly, Cunningham was the first one throwing herself into the chaos to protect Clark.